Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Amaka. In this tutorial, we are going to be learning how to make this beautiful kimono jacket you're seeing on the thumbnail. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I upload new videos. So let's get started. These are the fabrics I'll be using for this tutorial. Now this is my African print fabric and this is my ashoke. Now this ashoke is one bundle. It's one bundle of ashoke I have here. While for this fabric is a leftover fabric. So right now I can't say that this fabric is 1.5 yards or 2 yards. But I think for this style, 1.5 yards can make it, or 2 yards, depending on the person's size. You don't need much fabric for this style, as long as you have the other one to combine it. So that's just it. Now my fabric is folded into two. As you can see, the fabric is folded into two. So I'm going to fold it again. I'm going to fold it again into 4. So I folded it into 4. So now I'm going to take my measurement from this part, this folded part. The full length of my jacket is going to be 35 inches. I want my jacket to be 35 inches. The ashoke is 6 inches. So 35 minus 6 inches gives you 29 inches. So this part of the jacket is going to be 29 inches. So by the time I add the ashoke, I'm going to get that 35 inches that I want. I'm going to mark 29 inches from here. So this is my 29 inches. 29 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance, which I'm going to use to join the Ankara to the ashoke. So what I have here is 29.5 inches. So my seam allowance is ½ inch. So I'm going to connect the points. So I'm going to take the neck width. The back neck width I'm working with 3.5 inches. The back neck width is 3.5 inches. The back neck depth is 1 inch. The front neck depth is 8 inches. The front neck depth is 8 inches. And the front neck width is also 3.5 inches. So I'm going to connect the points. So now the next thing I'm going to do on this 8 inches mark, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches because I'm going to cut this part. I'm going to cut it off. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inches here. And I'll connect the points. So now from this, so I'm going to connect this point. This is my 8 inches point. I'll connect it to the neck width, just like this. Now for the body, now my hip circumference is the largest part of my body, so I'm going to be working with my hip circumference. My hip circumference divided by 4 gives you 10 inches. So this is 10 inches plus 2 inches for ease. 2 inches for ease plus ½ inch, which I'm going to use to join the ashoke to the Ankara. So that gives, so this is it. So this is my seam allowance, ½ inch seam allowance. So the same measurement I have here, I'm going to bring it down here. So I'm going to bring it down here, 10 inches, 2 inches plus ½ inch. So 10 inches. Now this is my 10 inches plus 10 inches plus 2 inches for ease plus ½ inch seam allowance. So I'm going to connect the points. This is optional. You can use 3 inches for ease, you can use 4 inches. It all depends on how big or how small you want your jacket to be. You can also use 1 inch for ease. So I'll cut it. Now I'm going to start by cutting the back. I've already cut off the back neckline. So the next thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to bring out the back panel. I'll separate the back from the front, then I'll now trim the front neckline. So just watch what I'm doing. So I'll trim the front. So after cutting, now this is what I have. So this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to sew my ashoke. So this is my ashoke. I'm going to sew it. So this is the back. This is the back panel. Let me illustrate with pins. So for the back, I'm going to sew with ½ inch seam allowance. So I'm going to sew it this way. I'm going to sew the back this way, and I'll sew the front. So now when I finish sewing, I'm going to have something like this. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sew. I'll bring this part and I'll sew this part to this part. I'll sew it round to this point, and I'll have something like this. So the same way I'm going to sew this, I'm also going to sew this part. Now for the middle, I'm going to fold my ashoke into two. For the collar, I'm going to fold my ashoke into two. Now when I fold my ashoke into two, what I have here is I have 3 inches. I have 3 inches here. So I'm going to fold my ashoke into two, and I'll sew. I'm going to sew it from here. I'll sew from here. I'll sew from here to the neck, and I'll sew it round, and I'll come back. I'll come back to this point. I'll continue and stop at this other part. So I'm going to do all these things I just said and show you the outcome. Now after sewing, this is what I have. So I've joined the ashoke, I've joined here, and I've joined the collar. So now this is the pocket. This is the pocket. What I have here is I've folded the seam allowance inside. I've folded in the seam allowance and ironed it. So Now this is what I have here. I have, let's call it 7 inches, 7 inches by 5 inches. That's what I have. So I'm going to, now to place my pocket, I'm going to measure 18 inches from the shoulder. I'll measure 18 inches from the shoulder. So this is 18 inches. So this is where my pocket will start from, 18 inches. While from here, I'll measure 2.5 inches. Okay, let me use 2 inches. I'll measure 2 inches from here. So now this is how my pocket will be. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew. I'm going to top stitch on here. I'll top stitch here and I'll top stitch here and here. While I'm going to leave this part open. I've already folded in the seam allowance. I have to fold it in immediately because this fabric frays. Ashoke frays. Though this part doesn't fray, but I've folded it in, so I have to sew here at once. So when I get to my sewing machine now, I'm going to sew here, here, and here. So this part will be open. Here will be my pocket. So while for here, now after that, on this part, you know this is a butterfly jacket. So I'm going to come down by my bust point. I'm going to be working with my bust point. My bust point is 11 inches. I'm going to add 2 inches to that 11 inches. This is a butterfly jacket. Now, if you make it tight, it's going to be awkward around the armhole. So that's why I'm using my bust point measurement plus 2 inches for ease, so that it will be free. So now from here, from this 13 inches, I'm going to sew it down. I'm going to sew from on this line like this, on this line like this. I'll sew it down. So the same thing I'm going to do here, I'm also going to do here. I'm also going to do on this part. I'm going to do everything I just said, and I'm going to wear it on my mannequin and show you what it looks like. If you found this tutorial helpful, please click on the like button, share this video with your friends, share this video in your sewing groups, subscribe to my channel if you've not done so. Feel free to ask questions. I'll be in the comment section to answer all your questions. We've come to the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.